This is Leanne at Complete Payroll. Welcome to Payroll Country. Today we're going to take a look at how we create a second check for an employee in payroll. So from our waiting payroll, we're going to go into the batch and we're going to select an employee that we would like to add this second check for. So I'll go ahead and just double click on my employee's name to take me to the individual check lines. To create a second check, we'll start by clicking on the green plus at the top of the screen. This will pull up a payroll expert window. And I'm just going to follow each step as it's listed on the screen. So the first item is to choose a check type. Here I have an option of creating a second regular check. I can void a check, enter in a third party or disability check, and then I also have the option to enter in a manual check, which will not create a live check, but rather it's just going to update the year-to-date information and taxes for the employee. For this example, I'm going to start with entering in a second regular check for this employee. Having selected regular in the drop-down window, I'm going to click Next. The next item is to select the employee. The payroll expert will default to the employee that I'm currently working on, so I can see here that this is employee code 34. I also can search for a different employee using other means other than the employee code by clicking on the drop-down where I can see the employee name or I can see the social security number. If I wanted to look for a different employee for this check, I could do so here by clicking on the drop-down and making the selection based on their name, employee code, or social. Since I do want to use this employee, I'm just going to hit Next. Here it's asking me if I want to select a check template for a check or to leave it blank. A check template may be created and used for special checks like bonuses or commissions, but they must be set up prior to creating payroll. If you'd like additional information about creating a check template, please contact your CSR. For this example, we will not be using a template. I'm going to click Next. And now the questions, do I want to pay salary? I can just answer yes or no. And if I want to pay regular hours, yes or no. The system will then create a second check for this employee, including the regular scheduled deductions and also earning check lines that we see here on this grid that would match what was on their original check. So on this check, I can enter in the different items that I would like, or I can remove items. So if this is a second check for vacation, and I don't want any of the other scheduled deductions to be taken out, so I'm going to remove all of the scheduled deductions until I just have my earning code for vacation. Once I've made my entries and I recalculate my check, I can verify under the Preview tab that everything has come out as expected, and I can continue on in my payroll with other tasks. You can see here that I am now seeing this is check 1 of 2, and that my employee, Jonathan Smith, indeed has 2 checks where we can see list check 2 of 2 in the next window. To create a manual check, I'm going to start the same way that I did for a regular check by clicking on the green plus at the top of the screen. Here, instead of selecting regular, I'm going to select manual and click Next. Now I'm going to be answering the question, do you want the balance of the scheduled EDs for the manual check to be updated, to where I'll select yes or no and click Next. It'll ask me to please select an employee. And again, I can select a different employee by using the drop-down. I also can change employee code, name, or social security to assist in my search. I'm going to remain on this employee, so I'll click Next. Here I'm asked to enter in a check number. So if you have a check number from your office check register, you can enter in that number here. If you don't have a particular number, you could enter in any number. You just cannot duplicate it within the same check date. I'll click Next after I've entered my check number. Now I'm just going to verify that next to my employee's name at the upper part of the window, it does indeed say manual, and my check number is listed right next to it. I'll go to the check lines, and here you can see I just have some blank lines and I don't even have a rate of pay here listed. If I need to issue a check that includes the employee's regularly scheduled EDs, I can click on the General tab, and under Actions I'm going to select Refresh Scheduled EDs and click Yes. And the system will now update the check lines to include the regularly scheduled EDs that I can either include in this check or not. So perhaps I just want to include the health and vision, so I'll remove the other deductions by clicking on Control-Delete on my keyboard. If I would like to change the earning codes to enter here, maybe this is just regular pay, I can either edit the line that is here by just overriding the information, and now I can enter in the hours. And when I hit enter, I'm not seeing any rate of pay or amount pop up as I would on a regularly scheduled check. So if I want to calculate this line, I could either manually enter in the rate of pay and the dollar amount, or I can right-click my mouse, and when the window pops up, I'm going to click on Calculate Check Line. And this will give me the amount indicated for this employee. And then I can also add additional lines or delete lines as needed. When I'm satisfied with the entries, I can click on Recalculate Check and verify that my net pay matches what I expect it to. And then I will simply save. When we return to our quick entry grid, we'll be able to see that this employee has 3 checks, as their name is going to be listed 3 times with the amounts that we entered for those checks. We also can see that the manual check is designated by the type M as opposed to type R for regular here in the type column on the quick entry grid. Well, this concludes our look at creating additional checks in Evolution Classic. If you would like further information on creating a third-party sick pay check or entering a voided check, please follow up with your CSR. We do have written procedures available for you for all of the additional checks available to create in Evolution. Also check with your CSR. For more video demonstrations, please check out our video library at CompletePayroll.com. Thanks for joining me and have a great day.